Hi there. It's Tom and Tom. We're back again.
Back again.
Yeah, we're not going away. You can't get rid of us that easily.
You refuse.
Nah. Well, we were talking about values a minute ago, and uh, in our new book, Wildly Successful, the Intentional Culture Cookbook, we have a couple recipes. Look at that. I told you not to hold it up because I put it on the screen. Now I got to figure out how to edit that
Fun to
out.
know that it's real, not just a picture that you made
All
up.
right. Well, I'm not putting up the picture today because you did that. Um, yeah, it's a real book, and there's a bit in there, some recipes about two of our what we call universal values. And Tom was asking me, well, which is your favorite? And it has to be trust. Because when I look at values that other organizations have, they often have things like integrity and responsibility and respect and honesty and blah, 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 on and on. But they're forced to,
Oh, wait a minute. You just drove away 50 customers.
that stay with me because
All
I'm
right.
going to win you back. um, the, these values are good, but
Okay.
you can only have so many. Like, don't we want all of those things? Don't we want our people to all be honest and trustworthy and kind and empathetic and thoughtful and caring and blah, blah, blah. Like all these great qualities that we would like our coworkers to have. But if you list all those values, A, you're going to confuse people, and B, you're going to need a bigger plaque in the lobby. So, so the beauty of trust is that it encompasses all of those values, right? Because, like, what happens if you're just honest to somebody and don't get away with it? Does trust go up or down?
Trust goes down.
That's right. If you're irresponsible, if you're unkind, if you're whatever, pick a value and ask yourself what happens if somebody doesn't treat you in a positive way with regard to that value. You get all of those with trust in one word. It's the most powerful thing in the world.
You're not saying you dislike the other values. You're saying you think this one value incorporates them.
Yeah, I'm saying that if you're picking values for your organization, I don't like any of those because you're going to leave some out and you're going to regret it later. Like, oh, we didn't have accountability as one of our values. I just thought I'd blame somebody else. I
You're
didn't
making me
know.
flash. You're making me flash onto an actual meeting I was in where the agile coach was talking about safety, and the senior manager in the meeting is like, "I don't want my people to feel safe." And I was just sitting there quietly, and I was thinking, "Well, you just achieved that.
Congratulations.
You're kind of done."
That's right. In case anybody felt safe before you said that.
I want them to be afraid that they're about to lose their job. I'm like, actually, I've been in your organization. I think you've achieved that.
What's your turnover rate, by the way?
What? Well, and more importantly, is like, how is that improving your outcomes?
Right.
Like, Because to be honest, if it's working for him, my value is lack of safety. I'm like, yeah, man, I don't want to work there, but you do you.
Right.
That's your value.
There could be people out there, Tom. There could be people who are like, I don't like working in those mamby-pamby, woke, safe environments. Give me a place where I'm always in jeopardy. That's where I do my best work.
It's best. I like coming to work not knowing if I'm going to be fired that day or not.
That's right.
That,
Yeah. You're only as good as your last performance review.
so when you're looking at values of all the ones, I think it's important to talk about. Yeah, and I'd like just a minute from you on this. As you're looking at trust as a favorite value, what do you want people to do with that value? Like, how does it apply? What's the use case? Because I'm always like, the devil's in the details. And if all the point of trust is just to put it on a plaque on the wall, I'm guessing that's not what you're interested in.
Yeah.
So given that value, now what? How is that lived out? What's just an example of that being lived out?
The one that always comes to mind for me is that some people will put either embedded in their mission statement or vision statement or value somewhere is innovation. And innovation sounds like something every company would want in a fast-changing world, right? But let's unpack innovation. Like, what does innovation mean to you, Tom?
It usually means change.
Right.
It's like new products, new services, new ways of working. Change.
And what is a mandatory component of any significant change? I'm saying significant because you can, in Lean they make these little tiny changes every day, and those are pretty much different than bigger changes.
Well, and any big change needs to be in alignment with what the organization is overall trying to achieve.
Right.
It needs to be supporting that as opposed to resisting it.
But, would you agree that those kind of changes are A, disruptive, and B, risky?
Yeah. Change in general is not on the top of people's list. Most people don't come to work today going, I really want to change how I get my job done.
Right. So if you're going to instill an environment where people are willing to be uncomfortable because their environment is disrupted and they're doing new things that they're not sure are going to work at all or be demonstratively better than what they were doing before, you have to create an environment where people can do things that they know they might fail at. And you and I have worked in big companies where trust is not on the radar.
Where they literally say out loud, I don't want you to feel safe.
Right.
Which makes it really hard. Which makes it really hard for you to embrace change.
My point exactly. So, like, if you want to have an innovative environment where people are willing to try new things and take chances and explore possibilities, forget about it. Without trust, forget about it. They'll fake it. They'll say, "Oh, I changed the folder color to purple on all our TPS reports." It's like, oh, well, that's great.
But because we've talked about this before, I know there's something in your head that maybe hasn't come through, but maybe we'll wind up on this. But this trust is bidirectional.
Yes.
So if trust is a value, you're trusting the people and you're trusting the teams to do amazing things. But as important, if maybe not more important, they're trusting you that if they're going to try to say be innovative and it doesn't work, that you're not going to squash them like a bug.
Right. And the trust dynamic, it within teams when you're working with peers, it's a lot easier to build if you have a good team. But with leadership, leadership demonstrating trust by telling people, go ahead and take risks. That's okay. You know, we know you're going to fail sometimes. And then backing that up by consistently doing what you say and demonstrating the characteristics of trust down to your subordinates. You build trust. The people that were reporting to you build trust in you, and then you build trust in them over time as well. And I think that's the point you're making is that,
Yeah.
you know, we always think about individual contributors trusting leadership. But it has to go both ways.
Yeah.
And the value, by having it as a value, it makes everybody think about the behaviors that build trust and what they can do to build trust.
Why it's one of your favorite values or your top favorite values, trust.
Yeah.
Start with trust. We can begin to build a functional, intentional culture in your organization.
And without it, you can't.
You can't.
That's why it's explicitly called out in the book, because we just don't think it's stillborn. Whatever you do is stillborn in a fear-based environment. Can't happen.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't want my people to have psychological safety.
yes, you're out of here. The firings will be public and they will be loud.
All right, we'll wrap that up for today. Tom, thanks for sharing us your favorite value.
Yes, and always pleasure chatting with you, Tom. We'll see
Yeah.
you again real soon. And please remember to hit the subscribe button. These videos are going to come hot and heavy, and it's stuff you can use and stuff you will hopefully be entertained by.
Yes.
All
All right.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.